Like, you got to know that running is a part of it, which I kept telling you the whole part. I'm like, that's how Aneesa's always like in bottom for me, because if she can't run half a mile, ain't no way in hell that she's going to be able to win this. What up, movie disciples and good people of the internet? I go by Brian, the movie messiah, and this is the Challenge Double Agents, episode 15 review. And joining me on this mission, as always, is my sister Brittany. It's episode 15, and I guess we can start off how it ended. Like, it was kind of anticlimactic to me. So I said last week is going to be Big T versus Nani, but yeah. Did you say the same? I can't remember. People were like, hey, why don't you remember? Like, I edit and I throw it out there. My brain is fried.
Oh no, I feel like I thought, I don't know. I think I was kind of on the fence. I don't remember saying Nani, but I definitely didn't say who it was. So
we can say who it was because we're at the end. It's a review, so it was Aneesa. I mean, Big T versus
I didn't
Aneesa.
Say it was. I didn't think it was going to be Aneesa until they really started stating everything out and throwing it. So it was my girl Aneesa that was against Big T. It was kind of sucky. She knew, so it was just kind of that moment of, wow, I got to go in again and battle Big T.
But no, she's been saying this for like the past, how many, 4 or 5 episodes, or probably like the whole season, like, or when she feels like she's being threatened that she has to go down there to elimination right before the season's over with, and they're not going to the finals just yet. Because I think I said that a couple episodes ago. I was like,
yeah,
he's not going to make them run with 10 people. He's going to have them. It's going to be like 8. Like, he's like, we got to cut it down. Just because you had a gold skull doesn't mean you get a chance to go. I mean, unless they do a challenge, it's like, all right, all right, whoever won and whoever lost, we're still not going to elimination. We're going straight to the final, just like the mess of their head. He could do something like that, keep changing the rules. But
you kept the same bar. Like, you're not even close yet. I'm like, dang, not even close yet. Like, how many runs do we have to do? Like, what is left?
Yeah, they're like, we got nothing else to do. I'm like, do you want to go home yet? Still Corona going on. Why would you want to leave?
Right.
It's the fire rope, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called, but you got the
one that Leroy killed.
Yeah, the one.
Like, that's all I thought about.
Leroy dominates, because the first time they did it, it was women who did it, right? And it was like 2 humps, and
they extended it.
Yeah, and then they extended for Leroy, but that meant nothing to Leroy. So I'm looking at it, I was like, well, I don't know if Aneesa's done this, but she can still pull this off because she believes in herself. But at the same time, it's like, it might be kind of hard. Before, like, we knew that, they were gonna, I don't say do the throw her down. I was like, still could throw in, Nani and Fessy, but I mean, I knew Leroy wasn't going to do that. But I feel like if Nani would have been down there, Big T still would have won somehow. I think she could have pulled it off. Yeah. It would probably be a whole lot closer, but
Aneesa it probably would have been closer.
Aneesa got stuck in the blocks and was like,
yo, dude, my girl, these like, well, for starters,
stuck in the box.
She got stuck on the first one.
That's what I'm saying. She got stuck in the.
Everybody was
stuck on the block.
Big T just kept going. But honestly, with Aneesa, I mean, it was a very sad moment. I honestly think she kind of was like defeated. That's what I'm assumed, because she really just wasn't moving. I mean, like, I know they was like, give momentum, like, keep going. And anybody who has done that or maybe hasn't done that, it still is like probably tiring. Like, that's a whole lot of like upper body strength and leg, like, you're doing everything at one time. But I feel like she was defeated. She was just like, really, why do I have to go down here again? Like, right before the finals, I know I'm gonna lose. Like, I feel like that's kind of where she was in her head, because
I can see that.
Could have gave a little more.
I can see that at the same time. Like, she knew. Like, didn't she vote for herself? Like, she knew she was going down there. So
yeah.
I mean,
she voted for herself because she got to the point like Leroy is in the top, whatever it's called. What's it called? I forgot. Leroy, he's there, the eliminator, whatever. Nani is his best friend. So she already knew, like, Nani, you're not going in. Like,
right. I was like, All the way I can say what you're saying, she felt mentally deflated is because she saw what it was. Now, if you saw something else, okay, I might have a chance. So maybe
Yeah.
that got her
This
in her
was a
head.
headbang.
Yeah, I mean, but they already
I
did
feel she
that.
had that.
And
Yeah.
like you can't really change the strategy, especially since they already did that with the women last time. So there's not really too much to
It's true.
change. Now they can do a headbanger next week for the men, or men and women. But I don't know.
Good
Anyway,
Lord.
but I can see she being mentally defeated by seeing that type of elimination. But like you're saying, it comes down to that one, like TJ said, it's mental strength, endurance, and like that dealing. That's pretty much body weight and strength
Hey,
and core. And Aneesa, that challenge wasn't built for her. Kind of like last week, like you would think it would be built for Darrell against Corey, but Darrell isn't fast.
oh,
So, like I said, maybe the challenge was rigged again. It's like Aneesa, keep going, get on out of
could have
here.
been because I'm sorry, the way Big T was moving, like I love me some Big T, but she's just not a top competitor, and she was like smoking her, like just moving. But I mean, she did have CT, cheering her on the whole way, so maybe that encouraged her. But she was just like hopping. I'm like, so I was like kind of happy, but in there I was rooting for Aneesa. Aneesa, I was
You
rooting
just
for.
disrespected the crap out of Big T by saying she's not a top competitor. I feel like she was probably made for that challenge because I mean, arms and legs and core, like she has.
I mean,
She
she
said she
has
ran.
that.
She said she ran. I mean, she swam in high school, right? So she's
Oh yeah,
a
she
really good
did.
ass swimmer. So her body is conditioned to like moving in that type of momentum. Probably like not the same technique, obviously, but like her body is still like might be conditioned to knowing how to do certain things. So
Right. And I agree. A top compare by itself, but I just meant against the other girls.
we'll get
I
to the
wouldn't put
rankings
her in
later
the
on.
top tier.
So Aneesa pretty much was like she felt good, and it kind of comes full circle what they're talking about earlier about black people being on the challenge and actually like winning. And she said her purpose felt fulfilled by
Yeah.
having somebody of color, a woman of color, being a
I feel like she
champion.
had the best speech. I'm gonna give her that. Like hers had purpose. It was beautiful. I was like, at least she kind of it was like a bittersweet moment. So I did like how they kind of like sealed that in there. Like if I didn't win, at least a brown person won. And then they kind of like showed that across the board. Like it is like brown women are here. Like we're about to take over. I was like, I love that. So beautiful.
She didn't say
And
brown.
even brown men.
She said person. She said a woman of color, but sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, they
yes,
showed
she said
everybody though.
that, and it feels like it was a sayonara. It was adios, and she's going to Ice Cube's Big Three League of the Challenge All Stars, and where
Yeah.
she will have a chance to actually win because
I feel like
everybody
that's why I
is
wasn't too
washed.
sad because I was like, I know where you're going. But
Yeah, I mean that's why TJ was like, you had a great run. See you
first
later.
of all, he wasn't even that. I guess, like we said before with TJ, he was like, "You're a vet. We'll see you again." I was like, "Okay, couldn't be shorter than that." I was like, "Good lord."
What I mean, what
And
else to really
add anything
say?
else?
Yeah, it was a
I
wrap.
don't know, but you're a vet. I'm like, I'm supposed to feel good because you told me that. Like, are you gonna tell me something else?
All right,
Great
let's take it back to the
competitor.
top. So,
Oh,
oh, should we take back to the top? Well, anyway, so after elimination, Big T has a choice. Now, did you think she was going to be, I don't say shady, but have revenge and leave CT?
honestly, before she even mentioned it at that moment, I didn't. I just thought she was gonna be with CT because I mean she was kind of quick and willing when he was like, "Can I get you back?" I was like, "Okay, CT." I didn't start squirming or thinking she might pick someone else until she actually said it. Then I was like, "Oh dang!" Like she really might pick someone else. Personally, I was like, "Don't do that." I feel like that would be the biggest mistake ever. But do you, boo? At
Yeah,
first, no. Until she said something.
I was thinking that she might do it because she started off earlier at the top of the show where she was getting focused on she's trying to be focused on getting her skull, and she even said that it's still not gonna be easy for me being that forgiving to CT. So when it came
Yeah.
out to the end of the episode, I was like, she still could be holding that grudge, but I don't think she's like a spiteful type person. like just her how she goes about everything, and I don't see another avenue for her to actually have an opportunity to win, because even though CT might be hard on her, like we see in the challenge later on, like he's doing it because one, he knows what he's doing. He's won 3 of these things, so I'm like it's no joke. I'm like, so if you don't have anybody in your corner, you want to have him. You want to have somebody who's unproven, aka Fessy. Corey's been in a couple finals, but he's never been a champion. Like nobody's up there has been a champion.
Yeah, besides CT.
CT. So yeah,
I would pick with him.
Yeah, so she decided to stay with CT and CT, and she asked CT, and CT was like, "If you still want to have me, yeah, I'm ready to let's do this." And then we get down to it, and they ride together, and then because Corey was trying to, Kyle was trying to manipulate Kyle, the Joker.
Kyle was such
my man was up there he was trying to like cause chaos, like past 2 episodes,
always
but definitely
just
this
trying
episode.
To split stuff.
Yeah, so he was like, "Are you sure you want to stay with him?" But she does. So he is with Amber Black, and let's take it back to the top of the episode. So Big T, like I say, is focused on him getting a score, but still feeling a way about CT. And I just a bit, but I love the queen energy that she has when she's like, "Yo, look, it ain't be that easy." And she's also, she's trying to train with CT, but for like Hall Brawl, but Kyle out there, being a snake that he is, they're trying to like get in her head. I'm like, it was always like he's always trying to like worm his way in there and do some snaky type shit. Sorry.
That was a snake.
Yeah, so he was trying to like get his way in there, train Big T, and CT sees it. He's like, I'm like, nah, chill out, I got this. So they go train for Hall Brawl, and then CT, start talking mess to her, like, yeah. I'm like, that's why I left you hypering her up. I was like, yes, I'm talking about you got to get in their heads. No, you got
some fire in her.
You got to be you got to find out what triggers people. So I'm like, oh, that gets you going. All right, bet. Let's
that clearly triggers.
Yeah,
I do like that part that they have like those moments where CT is like uplifting her and things like that. I feel it shows like a kinder side of CT, like we've always seen, like he will rough you up and change your life, but he also has a kinder side. So it's like through the years, now you see him like encouraging a teammate. It's like, who would have thought? CT out of everybody, encouraging a teammate that is not the best out of everyone, but she's trying. So I was like, okay, CT.
Kyle was, trying to, be a snake, worm his way in there. So he's trying to like butter Big T up so he can leave Aneesa. And then later on, he goes and starts chopping up with Fessy, Mr. Fuller himself, Lord. Fessy. And then Fessy over there talking, mess about CT already. He was like, he lived my reputation. And Kyle over like, yeah, he is living my reputation. So Kyle playing like Mr. Two-Side, Shawty Low.
Who's like, just talking to CT? But I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Like, yeah, Mike. That's why like CT be calling him out earlier. Like, Kyle, you're a snake. I'm cool with you, but so much. But we know you're definitely a snake, and you can see like that's like has the machinations down the line episode where it's gonna be lead to a confrontation. Like in this episode, it's CT versus Fessy, and then next episode we'll see CT kind of versus Kyle, but Kyle ain't about the action. Kyle is the Joker. Kyle likes like messing with stuff and then like watching stuff blow up and comes back slapping the face. So we get the skydive and color memory challenge. Do you think you could have done that challenge?
I had some hope I could do it because in real life I do kind of want to do that until the camera had the best quality and you literally see like what you can see it through Big T's eyes because Big T was going first and they like literally have the camera like filming out. I was like, you know what? And then I start getting scared because I am kind of like her. I'm like terrified of heights. So I'm like, we're literally jumping out of a plane. So I think, oh no, yeah, that kind of freaked me out. I was like, I do not know. That's a little too high. That's 15,000 feet. So probably not. You gotta have a whole lot of faith.
I would have done it. It's a challenge. Why not? Might as well.
Been like Leroy, because I ain't he was gonna do it.
Yeah, Mike. If I die, it's not gonna be on TV. So they're not gonna air the episode.
Yeah, they ain't gonna show that at all.
Who did you think was gonna win?
During the moment and actually watching them and seeing how Cam and Corey, who were newbies together as a team, I was like, okay, Corey and Cam are gonna get it. Because they were actually like gelling together and was able to do it. Which I was shocked because I'm like, Cam said it herself, like he is not really good at a puzzle, but he was like,
a puzzle is different. Like I said, it was a color memory challenge. It wasn't a puzzle. So, and he said it like he has a photographic memory. Like he could be semi funny, but he could just really have a great memory. Because we've seen him like in other challenges. With last season, he had to like run from like they had like the relay race, right? And he had to remember everything in his head, like to tell somebody, and he ran like the longest, like put everything in at the end. Like
that is true. I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, they had to keep going up.
Yeah, Corey has a great memory. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. You said that first.
Memory. Yeah, so now I would have done the challenge, and I thought Big T and CT could have won, but when they added in at the end of the challenge, you got to run a half a mile. That's when stuff got start getting tricky, and that's when I was like, oh, they got to do that. I'm like, it's not looking good for
over now.
Aneesa, Big T, and then that's pretty much it. I was like, those two mice.
They were all X'd out after that. Yeah. And of course, CT again killed the puzzle. Kyle, he gets on my nerves.
Killed the memory.
Aneesa tried. Killed the memory. No puzzle. I'm like, Aneesa tried. We got it. But I'm just like, where your partner fails, that's where you excel. That's how I look at it. Like, Kyle, that's where you come through. Like, do something. I mean, obviously, you got to make me meet together.
Mike, no.
I wasn't even helping with the memory part. Like, he's acting like, I'm fed up. Like, you're back there. I'm like, Kyle, did you even remember? Did you have any memory of what you saw?
Here's the thing. If it was like more competitors who done this like earlier in the challenge, I could see where you're coming from. But the challenge is you can't start the puzzle until your person gets over there.
Until your partner.
You can't start the memory until your partner gets over there. So them having a lack of endurance screws up the challenge, and it's the first person who gets it done in each heat. So they were screwed either way. They
was.
Because it was Leroy and Casey in the first round, right? And then it was Cam and Corey in the second round. So they were screwed. Like, they got there faster because they're in better shape and have more endurance than Aneesa and Big T. So
Kyle kind of already knew that though, and he's sprinting like 0.2 ahead of her. I'm like, you gotta wait for her.
He didn't. It wasn't a good look for Kyle doing that. CT was trying to be a lot more encouraging than Fessy just doing his Fessy, full of himself type things. He just took off.
Let Nani in the dust.
Yeah, and Nani, we've been talking about still feeling some type of way. I mean, I did think for a second when Big T went down there that she was going to take Fessy because she said it like you said earlier. And I was like, well, CT's going to take Nani. That'd be easy.
Nani,
I'm like CT just might have stepped up just off athleticism by having her, but you said the other episode, Big T has heart, so that could prevail later on. We shall see. If they even make it there to the actual TJ's final. So CT, let Big T the real deal. He's like, $1 million is no joke. I'm like this is why I left you in the first place. I'm like, I don't know if you're ready for this. We got to train. And like you said, we got to train, and they still have time to train. I don't know how much is gonna make up for it, but if you want this $1 million, you got to know that running is a part of it, which I kept telling you the whole part. I'm like, that's why Aneesa's always like in bottom for me, because if she can't run half a mile, ain't no way in hell that she's gonna be able to win this. And hell's not cuss word.
I can't disagree.
Yeah, so finally, we get to Club Rona, and it's going up. It's an 80s party, and Aneesa's over there trying to, make a strategy so she can make a play and not go in there, and Corey's down with it. And Fessy, comes at CT on some sideways comment type stuff. And he comes at him like it's like Kyrie talking to Kobe Bryant at the Olympics training. He's like, I can take this, whatever. Like, you probably seen that footage, but Kyrie came at Kobe, and Kobe was like, what's the guy talking about? Now, Kyrie can, handle the ball, but he was at this point in his career back then. So I'm like, you're going to go for the big dog. Like, you got to make sure you know what's going on. And and CT was like, okay. I'm like, hey man, he's like, I won 3, in like past, not too long ago. I'm like, all the kind of recent ones, because Fessy was like
5 years.
Yeah, he was like, you ain't the same type of competitors, ain't the money has changed as well. CT was like, I run kind of the recent ones, and Fessy's like, which ones? He was like, I'm like, my old, out of shape self beat Corey and Nelson. And I was like, I definitely remember that one. That was the first one, I believe. That was the second one he won, right?
Yeah.
Because that was like the solo one. The first one he won was with the West, and that's when he was in great shape. but he won that one solo by himself, and that's when Ashley won her first one, and then he won
Yo,
War of the Worlds recently. So he's won like two of the last like more recent ones, and heck, even
yeah,
like the
yeah.
one with West, like that was no joke. Like
That was
that was
brutal.
like Fessy just doesn't know what he's talking about. So if CT's feeling some type of way, and I'm like, all right, here we go, we're getting spicy, and I'm like, Fessy, this
Spicy.
guy just doesn't know what's going on. And Leroy with the quote of the week, he says, Fessy doesn't know. He says Fessy doesn't know that A, CT will whoop his ass. B,
Yo,
that CT is a way better player in this game. That CT will whoop his ass. So Leroy
everybody
has
that
quote of the
knows
week.
CT knows CT. You're going to get all three of those.
Yeah, like CT is like, yo, I'm like, what? I'm like, hey man, I'm like, why are you coming at me? I'm like, hey, I'm not the one. I'm, like, I'm still here. And he feels the type of way. I'm like, he's CT knows he's older. Like he's probably the
Yeah,
oldest person out there almost. And I'm like, you coming at somebody? I'm
I
like, I'm
feel
still out
like
here
that
doing
kind of
it.
tackle his pride and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like he said, CT is a champ. Fessy, I'm sorry, like you said, your second season, you haven't even won. Like, yeah, you made it to a final, but even he said himself, you gassed out. So you got to earn your stripes. So I'm like, you can't come for the top dog and the champ unless you got something to back it up. And I'm like, you haven't won anything, squat diddly. You didn't even come in second place. So I'm just like, you can't talk
Right.
mess.
I'm like, he
Like,
even said it. He was like, if it's in the snow, might have even footed, but he was like, just regular stuff, I got you
right.
beat. He was like,
I was,
and I had you beat on the truck. I'm looking like, did you have me beat on the truck? Because you
yeah,
don't get them
you talking
off.
about the tapes are going to show. I'm like, the tape is showing. It seemed like no one won. Like, y'all was tied.
Yeah, and CC was like, did you win? Did you win? Did you win? Did you
And he
win? And I'm
definitely
like,
went there. So I'm like, yeah, you didn't win.
I'm like,
So yeah, I feel like Fessy is definitely like, and I think I said it before, like now it's starting to show like he's very arrogant and cocky, and they keep like showing, he keeps like reiterating this kind of like persona, like I'm just the best. And Nani keeps saying it too, like he gives off bad vibes, which he does. I just feel like he feels like he is just the best, and I'm just like, you haven't proved anything yet. CT will definitely kill you. So
right, yeah, and Mike, you already said with 90 and alluding to what you just said right there. Like she says, Fessy and CT go about it like two different ways. Like Fessy will if I hire a hitman to take you out. CT will do it with his bare
he would do
hands.
yeah.
And like CT's gonna stab you from the front. Like he ain't gonna stab you from the front. He can come out with some John Wick stuff. Like CT is no
And
joke. Like
he said something like, I'm at the front door, or like I'll meet you at the front door. So yeah, definitely right about that. CT does no hiding. Like I will show you, no shame. Like
yeah, he was like, hey, don't come for me. He was like, hey, Mike, I'm here. I'm here. What like he was I loved it. I love the energy. And Aneesa was like, you bring it back, like old CT.
Yep, and they know him all too well.
That's how you still got that dog. And like, if he didn't, he wouldn't be here.
He's here for a reason.
Fessy is younger and, probably in a little better shape because it's just youth. But until you do it, like, ain't no point in talking about it. I mean, it was cool for him to say, man, I'm like, I'm coming for the crown. But then, like, start going sideways.
And,
yeah. And then we get to deliberation. Deliberation gets a little spicy, just a little bit. But CT's like, I'm gonna throw myself down there, so she can get her skull. And then Aneesa's over there, trying to get after it.
She didn't want to, but I couldn't be mad at Nani. I mean, Aneesa said too, like she couldn't really be mad. I mean, Nani said she was honest. She was like, right now, it's just every man for itself. You got to be selfish what you do. So I do like it that she's putting herself first. And I mean, she was honest. She socially has a better game than Aneesa. Like she has good people, and Leroy has consistently been winning him and Casey. So it's like she's in the clear. She's good. And so I'm just like, unfortunately for Aneesa, she don't really have nobody that has her back. So I'm just like, so sorry.
All right. MVP Challenger of the Week. Who you got? I know this episode wasn't dull. They're just like getting out to nitty gritty.
Spark like there. Yeah. I'm kind of ready for the final now. I think we all anticipating it now. So it's just like, let's get to it. Who you got? Or you want me to go first?
Yes, I said you.
Oh, okay. Well, you asked the question after that. Actually, I'm gonna give it to Corey. And the reason I'm going to give it to Corey is he just came from a win and he just picked a partner. So he's kind of on top high. And for them to gel together, and really, they didn't win, but they were very close to winning. They were 8 seconds apart. So for all that to happen for him, I will give him with his photographic memory. I'm gonna give it to Corey.
All right, my MTV I'm sorry. My MVP challenger of the week is, of course, none other than Big T. She conquered her fear. She jumped out of a freaking airplane. She was freaking out the whole time. I forgot to mention, sorry to cut off her victory speech. Fessy had a surprise freak out up there. I don't know if it was for show, him being a big old actor, or he was up there just really freaking out. Who knows? But I was like, Fessy's freaking out. All right.
Oh my god!
Himself, Fessy was freaking out. I guess, buddy. Yeah. So
Kind of weird.
she conquered her fears, jumped out the airplane, and she went down there and defeated a challenge legend in an elimination that, I mean, it could have been a toss up who could have won. I feel like, Aneesa was a little bit younger, she could have put it off, but she went down there, won, and she has a gold skull, so that qualifies for her to run the elimination. I mean, to run TJ's final.
That was an obvious choice, but okay. Big T.
I mean, that episode didn't have too much going on.
Yeah,
so individual ranks, I feel like my individual ranks are pretty much the same as last week. I didn't write it down. So it's CT for me still because he's a champion. And I see he still has that dog in him, obviously. And he helped, Big T pump herself up. We got Leroy next. We got Casey. We got Cam. We got Corey. We got Kyle, we got Fessy, we got Nani, we got Big T, and then we got Amber. Black is last.
Wow, that's right. Really putting Amber B.
I've already stated my claim why I believe BT can possibly beat Amber. I don't know if Amber's endurance is up. She could be on the same endurance level as Big T. Why do you think Kyle's over there trying to like figure something out, trying to like swap it out so he didn't get with Amber? And he was like, "Yay, Amber, my partner!" Like he didn't want her either. So, I feel pretty good about that list. Like Amber Black is in last because I don't know her endurance. I haven't really seen it because she didn't have to run today, and I can't remember the challenge she had to really run. So I feel like she's kind of holding her up back in that log challenge, I believe. So. And we're Black and last.
She was kind of based on something.
Like Big T's partnering with CT. CT's gonna be over there boosting her head up, and she has heart. She can swim. If you gotta do something with water, her arms, like she has great control over her body. And I haven't seen
before Big T.
Nani.
Hey, Nani seemed kind of low.
I mean, I think Casey and Cam would whoop her butt.
Can't disagree. I don't know.
Disagree?
Guys, usually I disagree, but I guess I can't. Could throw us a little sexist because you got all the guys at the top and the girls. I feel like we should just do it separately.
I have Casey as third.
You did. Besides Casey.
How's it sexist? Like,
I mean,
I have Casey third, then I have Cam fourth. What are you talking about? Did you not listen to the list?
You're right.
You didn't listen to this list at all. She decided to make believe and come out and throw out some sexist stuff. Thanks, cancel culture. Oh, sister. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day when she tried to throw me on her bus when I was probably like 9 years old at a babysitter's house.
Oh, wow. Why are we going to a dark place? That was rude.
Mm-hmm.
All right, usually I disagree, but yeah, I gotta say I agree with that. I mean, you did put my dude CT number 1. Leroy coming in for the number 2, definitely. Casey, following her. I mean, Cam, I'm always on the fence with her, but I can't deny her athletic ability.
I mean, usually you have Leroy up top, like
usually it's fumbling between. It's kind of tossing between CT and Leroy, so I definitely think they're almost like neck and neck, honestly. So I can't disagree. Kind of agree. I agree with that.
Should we do a couple of ranks?
New group, new pair.
Okay, fine.
Corey and Cam, so I feel like that might change it a little.
We're gonna do it then off the top of my head. I'm gonna say Leroy and Casey, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
I don't want to do it, so I'm not gonna do it. It's my channel. It's my thoughts. We got CT because the effing champion and Big T second. Then we have Corey and Cam. Then we have Fessy and Nani. Do I?
Yeah, Fessy and Nani.
And then we have Kyle and Amber B. You know what?
Which they just got together, so.
I guess. That's all I got. I don't feel good about that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean, we haven't seen Kyle and Amber, but if we just base it on how we did individuals, they both are still kind of ranked as on the lower side. So either way, that would kind of make sense. Corey and Cam, they kind of did great for the challenge. So I think they're definitely somebody to look out for. And obviously Leroy and Casey, which I'm still proud of them. Well, they got the 4th win for this week. So
You can
doing
say
great
maybe
things.
it's 5. Maybe it's 5.
Five
Who knows? I think I might ask this at the top just to, if I didn't, will TJ eliminate a couple, or will he pull like, all right, we did this, but everybody's still going to the final? What do you think?
No, TJ, he loves to play games. So I'm like, it's really a toss-up. Like TJ is hot and cold. You get what you get. I don't know. But honestly, I am kind of feeling in my soul, in the pits, that there's probably gonna be a double elimination. I feel like he's giving them hope. I feel like he might give them hope. Like, you know what, we're gonna keep the 10. And then be like, I told you guys, because he kept saying that word, like, nobody's safe, nobody's safe. Everybody does have their skull, so everybody's feeling pretty good, like, okay, we got to do another challenge. But, no, he's like, no, nobody's safe. So I'm really thinking there's going to be a double elimination. And honestly, I don't know why. I'm feeling like CT and Fessy might be in there. It's definitely going to be, obviously, girls against girls and guys against guys, and it's going to be 2 people going home. But I feel like, for some reason, CT and Fessy are going down. Could be wrong. I don't know. But the reason that they've been showing all that animosity and them going against each other in this recent episode, I just feel like if it's not them, it's going to be a hard hitter going down there. Maybe girls, maybe guys, but that's what.
Well, I mean, you said double elimination, so that means a guy, a guy and a girl has to go home. So if I'm leaning towards what you're saying, then I would say that it would be CT versus Kyle, because you see in the trailer that they have a little beef. I think he might just pull a fast one. Like, no, everybody's gonna run, but I can definitely see him being 8 people. But
they did that before, so I can't agree with that. That last one, I cannot remember. I think Leroy and Cam was on that, unless that was that recent one, I believe. I think it was, or it was the one CT one where they did go to the final, but then they had something that led up to the next part of the final. And it was like the puzzle. You had to do the puzzle. If you didn't do the puzzle and make it to this boat, you can't do the next step of the final. And I think that's where, unless it was like following up the final. So I feel if they do keep all of them, they're going to do something like that. Like, you got to do this to get to this next step to really like get into the final. I feel like they're going to do that. Like a pre-final or something like that.
That could definitely happen. They love throwing up some craziness for the final. And I look forward to checking it out. Man, that was episode 15, our review for the challenge Double Agents. What do you guys think? I'm like, was it sad to see Aneesa go? You can still see her on the challenge All-Stars streaming on Paramount Plus. This is not a plug, because I don't get paid for it. Just let you know where you can see her next set, where she probably has a greater chance at winning. I feel pretty good about her chances winning over there. You did a trailer reaction for that, so you can check that out over there. And you check out all the other reviews for the past, I think 5 episodes we've done, 6 episodes maybe. I feel like I've been pretty good at getting these out. On time, it's been rough, but getting these out, sure. What do you guys think, though? Hope you guys are enjoying checking out our reviews. Love to hear your comments down below. Chop it up with you guys down there. And make sure you guys follow us on social media. Love to chop it up with you guys over there as well. And if you enjoyed what you're watching, please make sure you guys hit that like, share, subscribe, and notification bell. For Brittany, I am Brian, the movie Messiah, and I'm sure we'll see you on the next mission. Base 5, let's ride.